Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we're super happy to have you here. And if you've been listening and enjoying for a while, I would be super grateful if you would please take a moment to give us a review on Apple Podcasts. It's one of the best and simplest ways to pay it forward and help others find the show so that they too can tap into the powerful perspectives and positive vibrations we are collectively emanating. The other unique and magical way to share this show is by sending any friends you think would benefit from listening to this podcast our Game with the Universe link at positivehead.com/game. Also listed in the show notes, which will serve them up a quote unquote random episode when they click it. Just instruct them before clicking the link to close their eyes for a moment and sincerely ask the universe to cue up the episode that contains the insight and perspectives that they most need to hear at this point in their life journey, and then click to listen to whatever episode is synchronistically served up to them. I have heard time and time again from people about the incredible results they received playing the game. So just tell your friends magical results are guaranteed or their karma back. All right, all you positive heads, welcome, welcome. Here we go again. It is a fabulous Friday here in the studio as I record, and I am grateful to be back with each and every one of you. Been traveling the last week or so it's the first day back on the mic in a minute, and it feels good to be back. Hope you are doing just fine wherever you're receiving this broadcast. And today I want to talk about the greatest gift in creation. What is the greatest gift that life has given you? And I suppose, it's arguable, what the greatest gift is. But I have some ideas, and Bashar has some ideas as well, which is sort of inspired this topic. Actually, I'm recording with Bashar next week, I think, or the week after. So forthcoming Soul Share episode with Bashar. I have really been had on my list of desired interviewees, Soul Shares, for a long time. So excited for that. And I just happened to come across a very short clip. I'll play it here in a little bit. It's like 60 seconds or so of Bashar talking about this concept of the greatest gift in creation, and this idea that, what is the greatest gift? It's like I often say, this idea that life is neutral by design, and I've never heard anyone quite say it the exact same way until this clip, and that's why I wanted to share it, because those of you listening a long time have heard me circle this and mention this many times over the years. I always think back to an old business partner where when he came into the picture with my last company, and it was like, I remember jokingly saying to him, it's always stuck with me, it's like, I'm not sure if you're Jesus or a demon or a devil, and it's like, the truth is, and what hit me in that moment when I said it to him and after I reflected on it, is this idea that it's all in there. It's all within him, or rather me, because the separation between us is an illusion, and he was me and a reflection of my energy. And I always say you're the lead actor, director, star in your own private universe, YOU universe, and everything is a prop reflecting you back to you. Everywhere you go, you're there waiting for yourself. So in that moment, as I said that, in that particular instance, just really stuck with me, and it's why I've referenced it so many times over the years, is because it is all in there, all the potential. Really, that avatar, that character in my movie at that point in time in my human journey as Brandon Beecham was showing up in a particular way, and I firmly believe, depending on how I expected them to show up, the energy that I gave would determine whether that saint or sinner version of him would actually be a part of what. Choose your own adventure, right? What storyline am I going to go down? And the idea that really, everything and everyone at the end of the day is neutral by design, and is really shaped and formed by your interpretation and your expectations and the energy that you give it. And so, this is really a great gift, as you'll hear Bashar talk on here in a moment, because it allows for you to actually dictate to some degree what version, what type of experience you have around a particular person, place, thing, event, etc. And this is really the only power that, as humans, any of us, I believe, have, is how we perceive it and how we deal with it. And Tolstoy said, "The only absolute knowledge attainable by man is that life is meaningless." And that sounds, uh, negative. That's Leo Tolstoy, from the 1880s when that was said. I mean, it sounds sort of grim, but actually, it's a great gift. And getting to shift and shape the perspective and how we see it and how we experience it based off of the storyline and the view that we put on it, that's where our power lies. This is where we get choice. And actually, I think based off some of those choices depends on which storyline sort of plays out to reinforce those choices and to sort of validate those choices energetically. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and just play this clip. Like I said, it's super short, and it's Bashar talking about the greatest gift life has given you. Take a listen.
Nothing in physical reality has built-in meaning. Nothing has automatic meaning. Everything is fundamentally without built-in meaning. The greatest gift, and I know this sounds strange in your language, the greatest gift creation has given to all of you is that life is fundamentally meaningless. That means it has no built-in meaning. What that also means is you were designed to give it the meaning you prefer to give it, and the meaning you give it will utterly determine how you experience it, no matter how the situation looks. Because every situation is neutral and can serve double duty and can allow you to experience a positive or a negative effect in your life. It isn't how the situation looks that makes the difference. It's how you respond to the situation that makes the difference.
So yeah, as I've kind of stated, and he said it in some different ways there that are very powerful. Nothing automatically has meaning. The greatest gift life has given you is that you were designed to give it meaning. You get to determine how you experience it, regardless of how it looks. It's all neutral. It's not how it looks; it's how you respond. That's really the only power that you have, is how you respond, right? And that makes all the difference. The story that you're telling around the event, person, place, thing, what have you. And as you sharpen your axe and get better at doing this, you start to navigate from a sense of authentic power, and a lot of that power comes from not being attached to the outcome. Right? Krishnamurti said, "You want to know what my secret is? You see, I don't mind what happens," and that's power, right? When typically, if this happens, I'm happy. If this happens, I'm sad. I'm a puppet on a string. I'm showing up with a need for it to be a certain way. And when you don't need it to be anyway, you can give it the meaning that you want, and you can determine the energy surrounding it. And that's and of course the irony is there is like, oh, this actually gives you the type of event that is reflective of the energy you brought. So even if the thing that's happening to you isn't how you would have chosen it, by bringing the the highest perspective to it that you can, you're actually shaping what comes next and beyond it. And I think of the meme that I've referenced before as well, where it shows Bob Marley. Whoever put it together, it's great. It shows Bob Marley laughing, and it's like, oh, when you realize needing nothing, you can have everything. And it's our holding on. And I just did an interview today uh, that comes out in a couple weeks, and a guy named Hale Dwoskin, and really powerful episode, um, talking about the understanding of letting go every time you see yourself attached to a certain way, shape, form, perspective of how things should be, and you find yourself tightening and clenching and stressing over it, release. Train yourself. Like Yoda said, to let go of everything you fear to lose. And you are, nothing is more powerful than a human who has been able to train themselves in this way. And it's this nuanced dance that is really the art of manifestation and navigating life in the most graceful way possible. This other idea that life is meaningless and simultaneously worth living. Someone said life is meaningless but worth living, provided you recognize it's meaningless. Another way I like to kind of think of this is nothing matters and everything counts, right? So, you may have seen the meme before where it's like two guys looking out of a train window, one on each side, and um, you know, one is looking at the wall it's going around with their face to sad and frowning. The other is looking out where there's beautiful hills and the sun is shining, and they're sitting on the same train, right? And so nothing, it's like nothing matters or nothing matters. It's like, yes. I mean, isn't that freeing to know that nothing ultimately matters, and that you get to give things meaning based off of your perspective and the energy that you bring to it, and that actually shifts what part of the scale, whether the water is hot or cold, it's the same energy, right? What part of existence are you going to experience? Which polarity, which pole, the positive or the negative? They're all a part of a scale, like hot and cold is, right? And so this is where you find your freedom. These nuanced but incredibly powerful perspectives set us free. And with that being said, I have a song that references freedom today. It is Moon Tricks. The song is called, oh, wow, I got chills. It's called Mountains. I randomly chose this song, and then this mountain meme popped into my head, and I pulled it up again to reflect on it. And yeah, and it also, when I gave a listen, I give a listen to the songs sometimes. There are songs that I've liked, and I'll go through and be like, oh, what's a good song to share? It's like, oh yeah, I remember this song barely. Let me remember again. Let me listen again. It's like it referenced freedom, and it's like, oh, I'm going to speak about freedom. I didn't realize I was going to speak about mountains too. So there you have it, folks. The breadcrumbs are waiting for us to follow them home and to realize that we've been there all along. Hope you enjoy this song Mountains by Moon Tricks. Until next time, journey well.
I've got mountains, worries weighing down on me. I can't count them, and they just won't let me be. Let me be free. Let me be free. Let me be free. Let me be free.